to break into it. All right,
let's do it.
So everyone, welcome back. This is the James Hempton Show, and this evening I am delighted to say I'm joined by the man across the table from me, Mr Rhys Manning, and we're here to talk. We're here to talk about a few things, bro. We're going to talk about a few things.
Talking smack.
Yeah, talking
Some smack.
talking a bit of smack, man. Everyone loves talking a bit of smack, man.
Yeah.
That's how it is. They're talking about talking smack, man. The king of talking smack was definitely Mr McGregor.
Oh my God.
He was the best at doing it.
Yeah, we don't talk about him
No,
anymore.
we won't mention. We won't mention him just now. He'll probably come up in conversation as we go along, as someone that we used to idolise, or somewhat still do. But anyway, listen, Reece, you're very welcome here, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming, bro. I appreciate it.
Some setup.
Thank you. Yeah, like you've kind of witnessed. It took Reece has been here 2 hours already, and we're only getting rolling now. Touching 25 to 10, but
and I'm usually late for everything, but I came here an hour early.
Eager, you were
to
eager,
go.
bro.
Yeah.
Like I called you an eager beaver. Eager beaver.
We always have good chats, so it had to be done.
We do, man. Well, let's give the people a bit of a background, all right? Because we don't know each other that long. It's been more or less, like I said, inside a year since we met one another. But how it came about was one day in Platinum Gym, done a bike row C class. You were in the class at the time. Went down to the dressing rooms. And all I remember the next thing was it was January, for a bit of context. It was a bit of a tough class, bro.
It was.
As you found out.
They're always tough classes.
They're always tough. They're never easy, them bike row skis. Always somewhat enjoyable. But I just remember, I think it was post-Christmas and you had it a bit rough.
Yeah. It was a big season of drinking and eating, and it was my first cardio session back. I'm pretty sure I always push myself way too much in those classes. And I just remember running down to the toilet, needed to catch that. The sink.
Yeah, and you caught it in time. You caught it in time, bro. And I remember. Okay, fair play, bro. Just get it all up. But we had a good conversation. We had a good conversation after that, man. And I was really intrigued at the time because I had just kind of started working in a gym in Black Rose, and I was very interested in kind of other personal trainers. And for me, looking around, it was kind of rare that I'd seen. Like, you're 24. Are you 25 just yet?
I'm 25 in December.
25. That's soon enough.
Halfway to 50.
Halfway to 50, bro. But I remember thinking, there's no one. There's a few people, man. But you seem to be pretty serious about what you're doing. Absolutely, even look, man. I think you can always tell by looking at someone's physique how they conduct themselves in life. I think it's a great indication of who they are, or all the decisions they make on a daily basis of what are they doing with themselves. You know what I mean? Because that's what it comes down to. Yeah. Isn't it? Like
building a habit, like that's all it is.
Building habits, man. Building a lifestyle, exactly. But that was kind of the background that we had. Talked in the change room, and I think initially we kind of just hit it off.
Yeah, it was a good chat.
It was a good chat, man. I remember walking around going, I like that fella. I like that guy.
It was post bike row ski endorphins. We're all buzzing. We were talking about our meters, what we got. Absolutely smashed the session. Yeah, as well. Pretty sure we're looking at each other's meters as well. Going, what's this lad getting here? You know what I mean?
Love that, man. And we're going to touch on it because we're going to touch on the topic of testosterone and everything else that goes with it. But competition.
That's everything.
Competition is everything, man. It only makes you a better person. Yeah. So that is something we will touch on as we go along. And like testosterone, mental health. We're going to touch on a few other things. Like I said, I got the whiteboard there with the list of topics. Keep the structure.
Yeah, it has to be done.
Once
we'd be going off on tangents, we'd be there talking.
Yeah. Like I said, it just keeps us in line. More than anything, it keeps us in line. But with yourself, Reece, man, I just want to get more of a background into kind of how did you get into the fitness industry? How did you begin your journey? Because I know you're doing a bit of powerlifting now. Got a competition in 2 weeks' time. But take us back to the beginning of how did it start out for you?
So basically, I was I remember going down. I was in the schools in TY, and we got brought down to Platinum Gyms for like a free session, like a group session or whatever. And I remember going into the gym and we were lifting weights, we were doing bicep curls, and I was just like, this is for me. I was like, this is the shit.
Did you know then that you were going to go on and have a career or have a career?
See, I was always mad into the WWE.
Yeah.
And I was like looking at these guys going, these are jacked, these are massive dudes. And I was like, I want muscles like that. It has to be done. And then I remember there was Killian at the time, and he was just bringing us through the session. And then I was leaving the gym that day going, right, that's it. I'm joining up. Like, I literally got a membership the next day.
No way.
I was like, right, let's get down to business.
And did you play any sports previous to that?
I did. I was never really good at sports though.
Yeah.
I was always.
It was never your thing.
No, like I was always that guy. Give him 5 minutes at the end of the match. Look after him.
I love the honesty, man. I love the honesty.
Standing beside the manager, just kind of saying, "Am I going on now?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And tried everything: Gaelic, football, rugby.
Football,
pretty sure
soccer.
I was in speech and drama at one point. I done everything. Cricket. I tried cricket at one stage. You know?
Yeah, and nothing clicked with you.
Nothing clicked. I gave it my best. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. And how soon was it then that you ventured into the powerlifting scene?
So then I just started lifting weights, and I remember just like I was going every single day.
And what sort of sorry, just to take it back even further, what sort of shape were you in at 16?
So I wasn't in great nick. I
Yeah.
was fairly overweight.
Yeah.
I wasn't very confident at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like confidence was rocked at the time.
Doing well with the women.
No, it was not going well with the women. I think all my mates had girlfriends and
Yeah.
seeing people, and I remember just going like, right, this has to change. I was like, something needs to be done, and that's why I joined the gym. I was like, right, time to change things up a little bit,
Yeah.
get a bit stronger, look a bit better, have a bit more confidence. You know what I mean?
That's what it's all about.
And I was like looking at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, John Cena. I was like, these boys putting up videos, and I was like, right, I have to be on that level. It's
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to go. You know what I mean? And that's literally why I started. And then a few years down the line, then lifting the weights, and then I was like, Owen Cashin, a trainer in Platinum at the time, kind of goes, "You're a strong guy,"
Yeah.
and kind of showed me how to deadlift and stuff like that, and goes, "You should do a powerlifting competition." And I was like, "What powerlifting?"
And how old are you at this stage?
I was about 17. I was in the gym about a year and a bit.
And had you seen much progress at that stage?
I was starting to see progress, absolutely, because I was just going every single day.
Oh, really?
And then,
Just non-stop after school?
Just non-stop. That was my routine. Bring the bag in, go straight after. And then I started cleaning my diet up a bit. Well, my mom making better dinners for me and stuff like that. Still ate a lot of crap, but it was the whole idea of just moving more, getting more active and seeing progress.
Do you know what's so funny,
you know what I
man?
mean?
Is sometimes when you break it down, especially with kind of fat loss, you know, the real, and not to kind of blank and put like a cover over it, but that's the essence of what it is, man. You kind of brush up the diet, you're more conscious about what you're eating, and you're just more active.
Yeah.
But it seems like just what I see online, man, it's so... You don't know where to be looking, man, in terms of advice.
There's too much out there. Like at the end of the day,
it's an overload of information.
Information overload. You need to track your macro, your calorie. Now, don't get me wrong, that works to like the highest level.
Yeah.
But when you're starting off, I think the best thing to do is get into the gym, throw around a few weights, and eat a little bit more protein, less sugar. See how it goes.
Exactly.
I guarantee it'll go a little bit better for you. 100%.
And if you had like you were a successful transformation, I'm just going to make my mic just a small bit closer, just get you leaning a bit more.
Yeah.
There we are. Levels are coming up
They're
already.
good.
Perfect. And I have like the question was going back to there. Have you had many successful transformations in terms of people losing weight as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
So at the start, the whole idea was get myself into shape.
Yeah.
And then
Well, you have to lead by example.
Yeah, like I had to, you know what I mean? I was getting stronger. I started doing a couple of powerlifting competitions, and then I was like, my mates were starting to go, here, you know, I want to do this, you know what I mean? And I started kind of training my mates for free, just sort of like you hop in here, and they started getting results, and I was like, I can see a career in this.
Yeah.
So
and how old are you? How old is this now?
So this was at about 18.
So things are progressing pretty quick. So you're 2 years.
But like non-stop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every day. Like I remember even the teachers in the school at the time going, this Reece lad's getting some muscle, you know what I mean? He's getting
Can't
strong.
be talking shy to Reece anymore.
Can't be talking, you know what I mean? And then that's when I was like, right, I want to start doing this for a living.
Yeah.
And that's it. Did my PT course. When I left Argillan and literally got a job in the gym that I started out in, Platinum Gyms, they gave me an opportunity and I ran with it full time. Then I started to kind of get transformations and stuff like that, and I made an Instagram page. Okay,
that's always a key turning point, isn't it?
Made an Instagram page, you know. Yeah. And funny, you know what the name of the Instagram page was?
The Compound King?
No, it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't. It was Irish Rock PT.
Irish Rock.
Irish Rock PT. And
Rock for The Rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like the next
You're
Rock.
obsessed. You're obsessed.
I was obsessed with The Rock.
Yeah.
And I kind of used the Instagram to track my progress. You know
Definitely, man, yeah.
And then I started kind of going, right, I'll start throwing up people's progress, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it kind of went from there, I guess, you know?
Do you know what? It's so funny, man. We have to revert to making a new page to start something new.
Yeah.
But it's almost like it is, man. That's what it is. It's like a fresh start. It's like you're changing who you are. You know what I mean? The Reece of old used to do this.
Yeah.
The new Reece is a completely different guy.
Yeah. I actually I had an Instagram page like Reece Manning, and then I just changed name to Irish Rock. Kind of like a bit of a laugh type of thing. I always just start off.
And did you keep that page?
I just literally changed my name to the Compound King, and
Yeah,
the reason
great name.
I did that was right. I think the main thing was I started doing powerlifting competitions, and I won a European Championships, and then I won a World Championships. Now, at the same time, it wouldn't be to the highest standard to this day and age, but still did it.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, like, I want to stand out there as a PT as well. So I was like, right, I need to think of a cool name here. And
I love it, man. I think it's so creative.
And it was like, what do I do every day? The compound lifts, you know,
Yeah.
big weights, you know, bench press, squat, deadlift.
Did you see someone else that had that name before?
Never.
No.
I've never heard of that name before.
I love the king bit at the end. I
and
really
then I was
like
just
that.
like the little bit of ego. I was like, compound king. Typed it into Instagram. It was there. I was like, let's run with it. Let's run with it.
That's
the
so,
compound king.
That's so
Let's
funny,
go.
man. I love that king mindset. That's what it is, man.
It's just a mentality. You know what I mean? It's just like, I know there's people stronger than me out there, better than me.
Man, you
but
have to.
but like,
It's
it's
self-belief.
all about you.
It is.
You know, if my whole thing was I'll be the best version of myself and I'm going to run with that. And then if people get inspired or hop on the bandwagon, be my guest, join along.
That's what happens, though,
That's
Reece.
it.
But you said it
You know?
there. You said it so well, man. You have to believe in yourself.
If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will.
No one else will, man.
Who will?
Yeah, exactly. You're the first person that has to start that. And then by you believing in yourself,
Yeah.
people see that. They go, I want a bit of what he has, the mentality that he's thinking.
It's
Such as, he's going to get a mention already, Mr. McGregor.
Mr. McGregor.
You know, he brought a bandwagon of people. He brought the whole entire Irish nation with him to the UFC. And like you talked about it when we were speaking the other day, he was a dog's bollocks before he fought Eddie Alvarez. He walks in there with the Gucci mink on, you know what I mean? And he's like, what did he say again?
Who the fuck was that guy?
No,
you know?
not that one. No, I think he said, sorry, I'm late. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? He got that gaff factor. I don't give a fuck at all. You know what I mean? He just went and he just done his own thing. But he done this, like, that was leading up to his second, well, he was going for the second belt in two different weight divisions. But he had that before he even got going, man.
He just had self-belief.
Yeah.
Like I used to look at like McGregor, a big part of like even like an Irish guy doing well. I was like, I want to have that mindset.
Yeah.
He had the mindset and he done incredible things. Like we were sitting up watching the Jose Aldo fight on the edge of our seats and he knocked out the champion in 13 seconds.
Who hadn't been defeated in 10 years.
So like you get like that's an Irishman out there doing great things. Now look, I know today's day and age he's done questionable things. That
Yeah.
some would say he's not like a role model.
Oh, you did say that the other day.
Like,
yeah.
and that's fair enough. But like, if you take them moments of what he did and like just take that alone, you have to say
that's what I see him
you know
for,
what I
man.
mean?
That's what I like to
They-
see
they
him
come
for.
up.
They come up, man. Yeah, and the peak of his career. You know what I mean? Or look, he might go off and do something else now. But in terms of his fighting career, there's no one like him, man. Because how he came up and everything got to do with
Drew
his
eyes,
story.
you know what I mean?
He
Like-
drew like I don't think there'll be a bigger figure in the UFC possibly ever. You know what I mean? In terms of personality, charisma.
Yeah.
Self-confidence, people just love him for who he was, man. Absolutely incredible. And like you said, going back to your point, it's the power of self-belief. It's
That's
believing
all
in
it is.
yourself.
It's more,
Belief is so powerful, and I know when people often think about belief, they often think about maybe religion, but no, it comes back to the self first. Like whatever it is, have belief in yourself. So, like you were saying,
Be a religious man myself now. Have the
oh, there you got the cross
Walk
on.
the
Good
cross,
man,
you know
good
what I mean?
man. You want to say a few our fathers before? Let me flick that camera back on. 2
Yeah.
seconds.
It's rolling. It's rolling.
Let's see again in shot. That might go off every so often. Anyway, we're back. We're back to. I can just edit that bit out.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, so you were the belief to believe that you were the compound king, and where did after winning the European and the world, them competitions, where did that lead you then?
So I was getting to a stage where like I was just looking to push weight. I was actually starting to get big again. Now I had a lot more muscle on my frame,
Yeah.
but I kind of just said to myself, right, I'm going to change my training up now a little bit. So I actually started doing cardio. I was like, I've never done cardio. I was always hitting the weights.
And where's the age now? What
the
age?
balance? Was this? So this was about 21.
Yeah. Okay.
21, 22, and I was just starting to get a bit bigger.
Yeah.
I was pushing 112 kilos, you know, I was a big guy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, right, I want to change things up. Started doing bike row ski, started doing some cardio, and then I got into jiu-jitsu, started doing some jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
while hitting the weights, but just not hitting them as hard, and dropped about 10, 12 kilos.
And what did that do for your confidence, learning jiu-jitsu?
That's probably one of the biggest ones was jiu-jitsu as well.
I
You
think
know what
that's
I mean?
so important, man. I think
Yeah.
for any young guy, and even lads of our own age, and for myself
Yeah.
included, like this is advice for me too. It's like you need to know some sort of self-defense.
Yeah.
It's critical
100%.
because I think that's why a lot of people are. It gives you this internal confidence. You know what I mean? You know how to defend yourself in any sort of situation. Martial arts are definitely growing in this country, and they're only going to get bigger and bigger
Yeah.
because I think that's a foundation that, like, 6-year-olds should be taught, man, at a very young age. Just
out of
get
the womb.
out of the womb,
get
man.
Them
You
crawling, get them like
get the gloves on them straight away, or whatever
You
it
know
may
what I
be.
mean?
It's critically
yeah.
important. But like, so how long What age are you now? What age are we leading into where jiu-jitsu came into play?
I started doing jiu-jitsu about 22, 23 along with bike row ski. So I was doing a lot at this stage, a lot of training. And I remember just being like, right, not that I completed powerlifting. There's nowhere near like completed powerlifting. But like I was just like, right, I want to try something new in the fitness industry. And that's why I got into that. And then confidence went straight through the roof. Dropping 12, 13 kilos, I was like a lot leaner. Had a bit more confidence in myself, and I was just like, it's like, I hear Joe Rogan say this before, you'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. Yeah. And I was like, that is a good quote. I was like, it's so true. Like, you know, you need to have a little bit of like, okay, I can defend myself. Not only that, it's internal confidence.
That's what it is, man.
And then like, just walking, like on a night out, walking home, you have that little bit more like, you know, not that you'd ever use it, but the worst case scenario,
the tools are there.
The tools are there. You know what I mean? You got to sharpen them now and again. You know?
Yeah. And how often do you train at the moment?
At the moment, I'm not doing any jiu-jitsu.
I know. Because you have a competition coming up.
Powerlifting competition coming up in 2 weeks. So I just cut out all cardio, to be quite honest. Yeah. And I started a new job as well in September, working in the school. And I also started another new job, strength and conditioning for a Malahide rugby team. Yeah. To be quite honest, that sort of took over. My new jobs, I was getting training in when I could. It wasn't the best prep I've done in the powerlifting meet, but I will still get in there and I'll leave it all out there. You know what I mean?
And where's your head at? So that's a lot of competitions you've already done over the years. So
the reason I got back into powerlifting was because Abs Powerlifting set up a powerlifting series, and it was a WWE themed event, and it was almost like my life's
hooked.
It was made. I was like, "This
is this what this competition is?"
This was the last one I did. It was called Power Mania, and this was back in April, I think it was April, and that kind of got me back into it. And my goal was to match what I did in the last competitions, but at a lower body weight. And I did that. Hit my 260 kilo deadlift PR. So hit that PR, and then I was like, right, did a bit of traveling, went to Bali, kind of. Went a bit like, you know, party during the summer.
Out feeding the monkeys.
Out feeding monkeys in Bali, you know.
That's how it goes.
It was great. And then I just said, you know, when I came back from Bali, I needed something to focus on. So I signed up for another powerlifting competition, not knowing the amount of workload I also took on at the same time. Yeah. Trying to balance everything, but at the same time, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, fair play, man.
Get me there in the day. I'll lift as heavy as I can.
So how many years does that take you into the powerlifting?
I'm doing it since I'm pretty much 18, 19. I'm turning 25 in December.
So nearly a good 7 years almost. Yeah. That's impressive, man.
It got me into the gym, got me focused on a number, not everything is about how you look. You know what I mean? Obviously there's a massive part of like why people go to the gym is how you look, but it's like almost like a sport, you know. It's like
hitting these targets that you have.
You know, hitting these numbers, you see yourself getting stronger, and it's based off of your ability of what you can do. Anyone can do it. Anyone can get a PB. Anyone can get stronger. That's my whole philosophy. Yeah, if you enjoy it, it's like the main thing is you enjoy your training, because then you're going to do it every day or every second day.
100%.
If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to want to do it, and therefore it's not sustainable or long term.
Exactly.
So do something you enjoy that you can keep up for a long period.
I think that goes for anything in life, man. It goes for anything in life. Yeah. Whatever you do, make sure you have some sort of satisfaction or, like you said, fulfillment or enjoyment out of it.
That's what's the point.
Exactly. There almost is no point.
Life is about that too. You have to enjoy yourself. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm all about like achieving the next goal, the next target, what's next, you know. But you have to have a bit of play. You need, as you're all about that as well.
I am about to play, man. Yeah, definitely so. It gives life colour. I always say, man, life, you know, without play, there's no colour in life. It's very black and white and can be boring. So add as much play in as you can. Like
you're mad into your like mobility, your functional training, your sea swims and stuff like that. And I really like that vibe about you. You have it, you have the right mindset. You're doing the right things, and I think like I'm pushing towards more like functional style training now myself.
You were saying that you've kind of an interest now.
I've been interested just to change it up a little bit. You know what I mean? And
what sort of industry you're looking at? Is there anything in particular that you kind of have an idea about what you tap into?
I do want to get better at my Olympic lifts.
Yeah.
Because I just think like you see the boys throwing big weights over their head, and you know, it's very technical.
Yeah.
You're building a lot of power doing that.
Yeah.
And I want to mix that with some weights in general, just like bodybuilding type of stuff. So I suppose you could call it CrossFit.
Yeah, CrossFit, man. Yeah,
CrossFit,
touching on the CrossFit vibes there. Yeah.
So like
great community, man. That's what I love about CrossFit. There's a great community.
It gets a bad name, like in fairness, like it does. Like you see a lot of like crappy things in CrossFit too. Like you see those pull-ups they do. You know, that was weird.
Kipping pull-ups, I think they're called.
I'm just like,
they're strange, man.
I'm not about that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, like some of the I'll take little bits. You know what I mean?
But that's what it is with anything, man.
Take
You
little
take
bits.
the best bits of everything. That's how it goes.
As what Club Orange would say, they not have the little bits that
The
matter.
little
You know
bits
what I
that are
mean?
in there, exactly, bro, exactly. Take the good with whatever else comes with it, but
Exactly, yeah.
it's nice to hear that, man, that you're kind of changing up, because I suppose if you stay in something too long and it's not maybe giving you the same satisfaction as it did before, there's no point continuing on. And I see this with even a few of the clients that I have. Maybe they play sports or whatever they're actually into, and at a certain point, man, when you've done it so often and so much, it's like you need to switch it up for yourself. You need this fresh approach, some new perspective, just
a reason to get you down to the gym.
Yeah, man, it's something different that you haven't tried before, because it can open up so many doors. Like hopefully this will for you, touching like stepping into the CrossFit scene, and like you've had that kind of
see how it goes.
Yeah, see how it goes, man. I think you'd be massively successful with the background that you've had. Because
once you train hard and you keep as disciplined as you can, consistent as you can with anything in life, you can do well.
Yeah, discipline's a massive factor.
Discipline.
Yeah, discipline's massive.
My biggest enemy over the years is just getting that right. Discipline. You know
really.
What I mean?
And how have you developed that in terms of, say, from where you this age are now to when you were younger?
I was very lazy as a kid. Very lazy kid. You know, like I loved staying up till 4 a.m. playing video games, eating pizza and chocolate, and just I would say in general, I was mollycoddled as a child. You know what I mean? And I kind of had to develop a bit of work ethic. And a bit of discipline, and the gym helped me do that.
The gym, man,
it has helped me do everything.
I think that's the crucial element of sports or going to the gym, man, is developing self-discipline and understanding what it is to work hard. And I think the same, I can relate to that so much, man, because for me it was through playing Gaelic football, and up until the age about 16 we had always had great coaches, but we had this one coach that came along from the army, man, and just drilled us like nothing else. And what it developed something inside of me, man. Like I'd always have a competitive nature, but it brought me to a completely different place, man. And it's something that's ingrained in me still to this day. And I'm so grateful for it, because if I hadn't have had that, man, if I hadn't have had that hard push, you know, someone really just motivating you to just get better and better and forcing you past the limitations that you know yourself. Because this is the great thing about having a coach, is that they will push you beyond what you think is capable inside of you. And you'll just develop and become a greater person for that as well. But without having that at a young age, man, I think there is a certain kind of age gap. If you miss that boat and that boat goes and you're creeping into your 20s and you've never really pushed yourself, I'm not saying it's too late, but I think it's just a better habit to develop when you're younger as well.
Yeah, did you ever hear the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Now
I've heard it many times.
Now, at the same time, I believe you can get into fitness at any age. You know what I mean? But the sooner you do it, the better. Yeah. Like with anything, the sooner you do it, the better. There's no better time than right now. Yeah. Right now.
Like for this podcast.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, pal. Cheers to that. But you're dead right, man. Like it's just about getting started. And I think reaching out to any kind of 16 to 18, man, develop the habit of really pushing yourself and physically pushing. I think that's where the real test is, because we admire that in people, man. We admire someone that can really push themselves and that possessed and a great body for it. But their brain is much sharper as well. Everything about your whole... There's no downside to pushing your sex. Pushing sex. Pushing yourself.
That's true also.
But yeah, that's true. Pushing yourself and exercising, you know what I mean? Yes. It brings you to a higher level. You're like you're striving towards a higher self that exists inside of you. And the one way to do it is work hard and build yourself up in the gym.
Like, if you have a strong body, you're more likely going to have a strong mind. Now, I know it's not everything to do with mental health, but how about like if you're like a overweight kid, you know, not confident in yourself. Yeah. You know, try doing something, give it a year, come back to me, and I bet you're in a much better headspace. I guarantee you.
Headspace, man. Because that's where we live the whole time.
You're living in your own reality. Like,
yeah.
That's it.
Well, look, we are the chemist of our own body, man. We can create this. So if you go work hard in the gym, you get, like you said, you mentioned endorphins already, the feel-good hormone from just working hard, you know what I mean? You'll get that, your motivation will increase, your dopamine will go through the roof. What you do is, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, is how do you set your own dopamine system up? So your dopamine system, your neurotransmitter for motivation and reward. So how are you setting that up? Because I think when I think back to my 16-year-old self, man, it may have consisted of, okay, well, I played sport, but outside of sport, man, you know, I used to get the instant gratification by just reaching to the phone, you know what I mean? Or having the easy life, man, or doing things that, like, that were not fulfilling, but they were just quick pleasures, man. You know what I mean? Where I'm at this age now, and you touched on already, like I want to push the boat out. So for me, what a rewarding thing to do is getting in the cold water, because it's so uncomfortable. But at the same time, I'm putting myself through a stressful situation because I want to build up mental fortitude. I want to build up this mental strength that I can fucking do this. You know what I mean? And it's not about showing off to anyone. It's for my own internal thing. It's for my thing. Yeah, for myself, man. It's these internal rewards that I get from doing something that's tough. You know what I mean?
It's being uncomfortable for a bit to be more comfortable throughout the day.
Exactly, man. So sea swims would be one, and like you touched on, in the gym is a massive element of that, man, because the reward is physically you look good, but more importantly, which is always crucial, it's all about how you feel, man. It's about how you feel.
Yeah, the post-workout feeling. When you get a great session in and you're just walking out of the gym and you're just like, or whatever it may be, you're just feeling great because you've accomplished something. Yeah. You know, that's what we're meant to do as human beings.
Yes.
Accomplish.
Said it, man. Yeah.
Accomplish.
Dead right, man. That's what we're here to do, man. Accomplish. Yeah, whatever it is. Whatever goal is in place or whatever task you've got to do for the day. There's such satisfaction just getting it done and knowing you've done it well.
Like even like you were saying about the sea swim, like ticking off the list. Like you did you write out a list for the day. You start ticking it off as you go. After you get out of that sea swim, you're just like, right,
what's next?
I did that. Like, I can do anything.
Exactly, man. Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like I got into the freezing cold water in the depths of winter.
Yeah.
Who else is doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of putting yourself ahead of everyone else.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, man, you want to encourage, and you mentioned earlier, kind of like bring people along with you as well. You want to try and encourage and inspire others to do, not copy or be the same as you, but just... what I always say, man, I'm trying to give people something that I felt myself that I know is completely rewarding. So why not share that with other people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's about like leading the way.
Leading the way, man.
Like you got to figure this out for yourself first in order to even kind of talk about it.
Exactly.
Like if we never did this and we're just talking like about, we've no context.
Yeah.
You have to live through it, and then it's like, do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do it.
It's the experience of it. But you like the cold dips yourself, don't you?
I do.
Have you ventured in lately?
Not as much with my hectic schedule.
Yeah.
but like I mean, I've
just about fitted you in here for tonight.
busy man with no watch.
I know, yeah.
But listen, at any given time I could get back into it. Like I was doing it all over the summer, last winter, doing it the last couple of years, and to be quite honest,
did you do the cold showers?
I don't. I'd much rather jump in the sea. There's just something about it, isn't there? Just
cold showers are different ball game. I think the sea's almost not easier, but
it's more accessible. It's more accessible to cold shower because you can just get up in the morning and do it.
That's true. Yeah, definitely more accessible, but it's almost harder to do because it's deliberation to put on the cold water and then go in and just face it. But like you said, man, the reward is just doing and just getting it done.
Yeah,
100%. So there was a topic I want to touch on, Reece, because you're definitely a man that I believe possesses a lot of it. I can tell by all the heavy lifting you do, the force output, your will to put yourself in a stressful situation, and not just that, like you want effort. I'll pick that back on now. You want effort. Like I think when you possess a lot of testosterone is what I'm trying to touch on. When you possess a lot, effort feels good, man.
Yes.
Do you remember kind of when that kind of started to change? Was it in around that age gap, 16 to 17, where you started to kind of tap in and start to feel it coursed your body almost? Was there any kind of moment that it did happen for you?
Okay, let me think about that.
Yeah, just take a sec, bro. Take a sec.
Any moment where I started to feel my balls drop?
I
think it zoomed out a bit, did it? Let me reword that question. So, like I was saying, Reece, you're a man that possesses a lot of testosterone. I appreciate it.
And the average man doesn't. So the average man nowadays, men, this is becoming a real serious issue, that men aren't becoming men anymore. That we're lacking in testosterone. It seems to be the lowest that it's ever been. You know what I mean? I think they compare the average 25-year-old has the same testosterone levels to his granddad, which is
that's crazy.
It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? And this is what makes us men. And we're literally, it's just for whatever reason. I think environmental reasons. I think even the food we eat, the lifestyle we live now, the habits that we have.
The Matrix. It's the Matrix.
The Matrix. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, and it can't be a world where women want to have no men eat around either. You know what I mean? Or men that are lacking testosterone. You know what I mean? These guys with twig arms and like just no sort of get up and go, no drive. You know, they don't possess any kind of life force at all.
Yeah, it's actually it's almost a cancer in society.
It is, yeah, great way of saying it. Yeah,
like like to be quite honest, like I think every man, even every woman as well, but every man like should, like, I know I'm kind of repeating myself here, but like you need to like get up and get after it. And you know what I mean? Like,
no, well, that's what testosterone gives you, man. It's
yeah.
for males, it's the primary sex hormone. All right, and that's what you said. Get up and get after it.
Yeah.
That's what it needs to give you. It needs to give you this life force for you to go out and pursue and just go for it. Get after it, like you said. You need it in your life.
Yeah, I think the best way to like increase your testosterone in some ways. Now, some people would say stick a needle up your ass. We know there's a lot of people that do that shit. But here's the natural way of doing it.
Natural,
the best
natural,
way of doing it.
Natural.
Right? I think first of all, it's your environment, who you surround yourself with. You know, you got to surround yourself with people on like a similar path to yourself. You know, you got to do that. You know, you also got to like this is just my opinion, by the way. I'm no scientist here or nothing, right? But like I think doing some form of physicality, if it's either like playing a sport or if it's lifting weights or doing a bit of jiu-jitsu, it's like a bit of like you know, bring it back to the Stone Age. What were men doing? They were throwing around rocks, killing their dinner, and then cooking it later on at night. Yeah, that's what we were doing back then.
Because we have to relate. It's the animalistic side to ourselves as well. You know what I mean? We were once apes and like even man in the last 400 years. We'd run around killing each other constantly, you know what I mean? I'm not saying Jesus Christ, barbaric times, and I'm not promoting that, but you touched on like another martial art once again, doing jiu-jitsu, physical contact with men in a very healthy environment, you know what I mean?
There's women that do it as well.
No, exactly, women that do it too, yeah.
And they're killers.
What I'm saying is the physical nature. Yeah. This is something that we're really lacking, is actually just being really physical, and that's one thing I kind of miss with playing Gaelic football. And I did have a small experience when I lived out in Scotland doing Muay Thai. Man, I had an epiphany, and when it happened, it was crazy, Reece, right? So I started doing it for a while. I'd done it for the best part of about 3 to 4 months, man. Yeah. And I would always consider myself quite timid. And there's something, you know, when you're a timid man, you want, and not that I was lacking confidence, but I just wanted to come out of my shell a bit more, you know what I mean? No. Yeah, definitely so.
Getting punched in the face a few times.
Well, I never went to sparring, but doing the classes anyway. Yeah. But it was just, what it gave me, man, was this, like you talked about internal confidence earlier on, but what I just had, because I was so nice for so long, I was like, no one wants to be the nice guy. I think the biggest offense that you can say to anyone, man, is, oh, he's a lovely fella. He's a nice guy. You know what I mean? Fuck that, man. Yeah. No one wants to be the nice guy. Yeah, Peterson always says it, man. You want to be, it's almost like a killer that has it under control. I don't know how he phrased it, but something like that.
Now, I 100% agree with you. I've been a nice guy my whole life, and I'll be straight with you. It got me nowhere in some situations, but at the same time, I think it's good to be a good person.
No, don't get me. No, I'm not saying go around and be a dickhead. No, I'm not saying that.
It's good to be a good person. Yeah. But like at the same time, you got to be selfish in some ways. You know what I mean? Definitely so. In order to kind of, you know, progress yourself. Like, I mean, no one likes a yes man. Yeah. No one likes a person that like, pretty much no one likes a yes man. That's it. It's like, you need to start to learn how to say no sometimes for your own benefit. That's
massive, man. Yeah, learn how to say no.
Learn how to say no. Like, I was yes to everything and letting people down. I felt like I was, then I started to say yes to only things I know I could come through it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, your word is more valued then, you know.
Definitely so.
As well as it being like a more respected person, because you're not letting people down. But back to the point of try not to be too nice of a guy, but at the same time be a nice person.
Oh, 100%.
It's like a fine line of being like, that's my whole mission, is like I love people in general. Like, I'm a social person. Over the last while, I would say I would be less of a social person, but now at the same time, I do like to go out on a Saturday night with my friends and enjoy some social time after a long week at work.
Oh, 100%, man, yeah.
But, jeez, that weather is crazy, isn't it? It's a storm out there. But,
so the doors are saying.
But, yeah, like, at the same time, like, I love people. I love meeting new people. I love talking to people. But there's definitely time and place for you to get some alone time. Turn off your phone. That's a big one. Like, turn the phone off sometimes. I think we're all sucked into this device. Yeah. And it's great but at the same time, it's like you need some switch off time. You need to turn that off.
Headspace.
Be present.
Yeah.
There's people sitting at dinner tables looking down at their phones, swiping or whatever they're doing.
I always say, man, the great thing about podcasts is it brings you to the present moment. Like, there's no phones. Our phones are off the table here. You know what I mean? It's just us two looking, having a chat, man. That's all it is. And just reverting it back around to you were mentioning BJJ or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu there. Have it.
It's like we're going off on a tangent.
I know. But you know what I was saying there, like that physicality is so necessary, because I think that's something that I don't know, maybe the average man lacks as well, and that's something that even for myself now, I suppose I'm not doing any sports at the moment. I kind of just have like train people on a regular basis and then do a class and everything else. That it's something I definitely want to get back into. But I think from surround yourself, you mentioned environment there, and surround yourself with the right people. Being in a group of people such as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class or even the Muay Thai class that I've done before, you surround yourself with killers, like lads that are competing and ready to go, and you're holding pads for them and they're hitting pads, and you're just feeling all this, like you said, this, it's almost animalistic kind of, you know, ancestral whatever drive that it gives you afterwards, because you walk away, man, and it's just like it's almost, you possess so much more when you're leaving, you know what I mean?
100%. And that's like, even if you're going into, like, let's say a weightlifting room or gym or whatever it may be, there's monsters walking around the gym, like, stacked to bits, or there's like lads doing pull-ups with one arm, and there's just a lot of people they're working on themselves. And I think that alone, and being in that environment, is what every person needs to do. Be in that environment and grow. Either grow your biceps, grow your mental health, whatever it may be. I guarantee you, no matter what day it is of the week, how bad you're feeling, you will feel 10 times better after getting a workout or a session in, or whatever it may be that you do. You'll feel better after it, guaranteed.
Definitely so, man. 100%. And I think you mentioned it there as well. If you want to start developing yourself in any form, just start with physically how you look.
Yes.
Because everything else seems to kind of fall into place somewhat so after that. You mean your attention span goes up, your willingness to learn, man, your drive. You know, I just think there's no better place than start working on your body. You know what I mean? Start for a young man as well, and young woman, but for a young man to build up his testosterone to a level where he is then pursuing things in life. He's more of a purpose about himself. He wants to become a leader almost. For him, you know what I mean? He's leading by example, by doing what leading himself, man, which is very important. So you found that through doing powerlifting, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Any other forms that come to mind in terms of? So
I was never much of a reader. Like, we're talking a lot about building your strength in your body here, and like I was like, I need to find a way to even build my mental here, and
the intellectual side of things.
So I started listening to audiobooks, right? And I remember this was during lockdown. We were doing a cycle around Platinum Gyms for charity. It was for Bike Row Ski, actually. Meters for Heroes it was called, and I was like, listen to my first audiobook. It was actually the one that's on the table here,
Atomic Habits.
There we go. Right here, right? James is getting through it now at the same time. Good man yourself.
That's a bookmark from many years ago.
But I remember I put that on in my ear and cycled around Platinum Gyms for 100k. And I was just like killing two birds with one stone.
That's what it is, man.
And then I was just like, right, you can do both here. You know what I mean? Like even going for a walk with your dog in the evening and popping it in the ear.
But even if you're driving, man, I think listen to audio book while you're in the car, podcast, like making most of your time.
Like the body and mind is one, and like I truly believe that you build both of them. I was leaning on towards the side of just, you know, physically, but then I was like, you got to do the mental side of things too.
Massively so.
Doing little courses, you know, leveling yourself up in work, looking for that promotion. Like these are all things that like we all should do as people.
Well, this is what happens. So I keep relating it back to testosterone, man. But the more testosterone you have, the more drive you will have for life as well. And it just gives you this unbelievable energy and just pursue. You know, you want to pursue more and more. That's why it's critically important to men. Tell me, is there anything that you've realized over the years that kind of, we talk about growing or boosting your testosterone, is anything that's kind of taken away any element of your testosterone? Maybe was there any habits that you've ever had or anything like that at all?
I would say getting myself into a rut or going backwards. And I always found like drinking too much on a night out the next day. How do you feel? It's never good. You know what I mean? No. you set yourself back. I always feel a little bit more like vulnerable the next day. You know what I mean? I always feel like I'm questioning myself. And
does this happen often? If you were to go out now, do you normally drink to that point, or
like, to be quite honest, if it's a big occasion, I tend to, you know, show up, you know what I mean?
Well said. Well said.
I do enjoy my few drinks.
Yeah.
My probably downfall would be I socialise a bit too much. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I'm trying to find that perfect balance.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
Finding the perfect balance. But if there was anything holding me back or setting me back, would be those few nights out, I would say.
Yeah.
Not
you've earned them, though.
You could say that.
Yeah.
You could say that. But as well as like
I'm trying to make you feel better.
Thanks, man. trying to comfort me here. You know what I mean? But as well as that, getting my old habits. I had really bad eating habits as a child. You know, eating a lot of sugary foods and with that sort of stuff. So if I decide like one day to hop off the bandwagon, maybe have a binge or something, I would feel like I'm going backwards. Does that make sense?
No, 100%.
So that would probably take away from my drive and ambition, and so my goal is to have as least amount of those days as possible.
100%, man. Yeah.
So we're still going forward, but my whole thing is when there's an occasion, you celebrate. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'll be after this competition now the weekend. I'll be having a great night out with the lads, and my birthday in December has to be done.
Definitely so.
You know, but what my plan is in January, I'm gonna sit now. I'm gonna say it live. I'm gonna say it live on the podcast. Bro, but I'm gonna try do dry January.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a go. Just a couple of months of just no alcohol and sticking to my goal, sticking to my purpose.
Have you ever tried it before where you've gone off the alcohol?
Yeah, you know, do you ever have like after a night out, you're just like, I'm never drinking again, but I feel...
I think that's what everyone says.
Yeah, everyone says this after a night out, but I'm really serious this time. I kind of want to just see how I will go. I genuinely feel like I'll get a lot further and I'll... get to where I want to get to a lot quicker.
I think that's what happens,
you know,
because you don't have that setback. You know what I mean, in terms of
that Sunday setback. I still don't get me wrong. I still get down to the gym and squat.
Yeah,
it's just I wouldn't be doing the weight I should be doing, or I wouldn't feel as good. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's my downfall.
Well, that's not too bad, man. I mean, I think that's a very common downfall, and I don't think it's probably going to knock your testosterone off all that much.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Definitely, no, I don't think so either.
But I'd say the type of food you eat.
I think that plays a big factor, man. Yeah, because I think the more body fat that you have on yourself, the lower your testosterone tends to be. You know what I mean?
Like I'm a promoter of like my chicken and rice, my steak, my meat. You know what I mean? I find like if you feel better through the food you're having and recovering your body after some hard sessions. Yeah. That does increase your testosterone. Yeah. You know, if you eat
red meat's very important. Steak's very important.
Yeah, steak and mince. I'm a big spaghetti bolognese guy.
Oh yeah,
I love my bolognese. I'll have it once or twice a week. Hungry, but yeah, I would say the foods you eat. So if you eat better, if you eat cleaner, drink more water, like the less alcohol you have. I think these are all factors, big factors,
massive factors, man, massive factors.
You know, so.
And I think another factor that's really critical as well for testosterone, man, is your whole perception and even pursuit of sex itself. You know what I mean? We live in a day and age now, man, where I definitely know, because the stats are crazy. I think I only seen recently in a newsletter from Chris Williamson, I think the average man, now it could be so off at saying this, I didn't double check it, but it was something like in the range of nearly 7 hours a week the average guy is watching porn. Which is crazy, man.
That's a crazy amount of time.
That's a lot of time, man. 7 hours. Now that might be the outlier, and it might be a bit less than that. But it is something that I feel does play kind of.
That's a massive. Yeah.
Men in general is pornography, and I think it's crazy because, you know.
So easily accessible.
It is, yeah.
Especially
and I think
for young guys.
It is, man. But I think there's huge benefit as well in like semen retention, in not just blowing your load constantly, man, because. As soon as that happens, you're blowing the load, man. You know what I mean? Your testosterone drops down massively. Your dopamine drops down because you've just been rewarded. Everything just drops down, and you know what I mean. And it's just like, it's so hard to reclaim that. You know what I mean?
I agree, and I used to watch it a lot as a teenager. Like, I'll be straight with you. Like,
fair enough, man. Yeah,
watched it a good bit as a teenager, but completely stopped it. I was like, well, it wasn't good for me at all.
Were you feeling the effects? How was it making you feel?
It was giving you that kind of like just instant gratification of whatever.
Because you're not pursuing anything. You know, when you're
pursuing,
no, you're not pursuing. You know,
no,
okay,
it's not good.
What sex is? You're chasing after the woman, or you're attracting her in, and then it happens, and then the reward is that you be with her. You know what I mean? You're with her. But with porn, man, it's just you open up the fucking laptop and it's there. There's no pursuit there. No. It's way too easy. And for what you're getting in return as well. And I think a big part of it as well, man, is, you know, guys are watching other people have sex, which is so off, first off. You know what I mean?
It's a bit weird. The whole
it's very weird, man.
It?
The whole concept. When you actually,
it's a bit weird.
When you think about it, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't sit in a room. Well, I don't know.
I'd say there's people that do.
There is, man. I can't generalize this. But it is strange, man. The whole perception of watching someone else have sex and you
it's weird.
Masturbating to, man. It is very strange.
It's such a weird concept.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
And it's one of the biggest industries, I'd say, in the world.
I'd say it could be. It could be. I think so. But for what it's doing to your testosterone, it's killing it completely. And how it's making it. No, don't watch it. Cut it out completely, man.
Don't watch it. It's not good.
Because the thing with sex is, man, it's all about pair bonding. So you don't have that when you're watching porn, because that's why you become so confused after, and almost
your expectations of what sex is, then it gets changed.
And these lads are just pumped to the gills and everything. You know what I mean? It's just what it is, man. It's so wrong, but it kills your pursuit. If you're constantly watching that, you're never gonna pursue a woman because you have it so accessible and so easy. Plus, you're taking away your testosterone, which gives you that drive force to go out and get after. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you like keep all that in you and then use it to drive you, you have a winner.
The thing is, man,
discipline.
Discipline. That's there you said it, man. That's self-discipline. Self-discipline is not touching yourself.
No fap.
No fap, man. That's became a big thing now.
I couldn't agree more with it. The whole
semen retention, it's massive, man. It's getting bigger.
I couldn't agree more with it, but at the same time, like, a guy's a guy. It's gonna happen now and again. But I could not recommend you get it out of your life. Porn.
Completely.
There's no need for it.
It has been many years now. It's out of your life.
Yeah. I mean, I now I would say like the last 4-5 years, I just don't watch.
I love that, man.
And that's the truth.
I think for me, man, it was the third time.
The teenager.
When I was when I was a teenager, I remember doing it, man. I remember just feeling fucking.
Disgusting.
Disgusted, man.
Disgusting.
Almost shameful about it, man.
It is shameful.
It is shame, and shame is like the lowest form of consciousness. Like it's rock bottom, man.
Yeah, you know what? You're dead right. I remember you just sitting there and just like, look, we won't get into the details. But
we don't want to start painting the picture.
But like, it's not a good vibe.
No. It's not. It's fucking the worst vibe ever, man. It's the worst vibe.
Go get yourself. Maybe you didn't go get yourself a girlfriend, but like, if you just put that energy into yourself, focus on your own shit. Yeah. Shit will work out.
Definitely so.
Like, you will get a girl someday, or you'll be seeing someone,
and that's what it's about, man. That's so much more rewarding. Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, literally one day. Yeah, like you said it. But it's just the pursuit is that's what you have testosterone. And that's what you want to keep it inside yourself. It'll give you that drive to get after and chase after, almost like chase after sex. You know what I mean? Oh. That's what it's about, man. That's the reason why we have testosterone in our body.
Like think about it, like if a young guy or just puts all that energy into himself, building his status, building like his body, building his mental health, I guarantee he's going to find it a lot easier to get a girl.
You mentioned mental health there, man. Like, chronic masturbation does not lead, it leads to depression, man, because your dopamine levels, everything just drops down. There's no reward there. No, we talked about, or I mentioned, about setting up your dopamine system, man. If you set it up like that in terms of watching porn, man, that easy, accessible, just gratification on the spot, no pursuit, no reward.
They should ban it from young men.
They should. I think Russia banned it.
I'm not sure. I don't think much women watch porn. I wouldn't say it's it's more of a guy thing. I genuinely think it's the devil.
Yeah.
Don't just get it out of your life.
Oh, you said it, bro.
If you take one thing from this podcast, get it out.
Get porn out of your life completely.
Yeah, no need for it.
Definitely, man. And there's like, as soon as you ejaculate as well, man, as soon as that semen's gone, there is another hormone that kicks in called prolactin for men. Okay. So this is when there's a massive drop in dopamine and testosterone. And prolactin is related. It's normally kind of like a female hormone, which is prolactin. Women prolact, is it prolact or prolate? I think when they're having kids. So it's just what it is the massive drop as soon as you ejaculate, the massive drop in dopamine, testosterone, it makes you feel it goes under that baseline of what you have. It's just what I'm trying to say is it's not going to make you feel good.
No, it's not.
And it's something you just need to cut
you
out
get nothing
completely.
from it. You don't get like, what's the reward from it apart from getting that little like dopamine rush? But
For 10 seconds, man.
And no, it's not good. Get it out of your life. Go work on yourself, and then go find a girl someday, and you'll be a lot happier.
Definitely so.
But I don't even think like like the whole even relationship thing. I don't think you necessarily need a relationship to be happy. I think you can be very happy by yourself.
Oh, definitely so. Yeah.
I think there's a whole culture where like you need to find the whole culture of go find your girlfriend, settle down, get your kids. I do believe that you can live a happy life and do your thing, and then if it comes along, great. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't think it should be the prime focus of everyone's life. Focus on yourself, your own goals, your own dreams. Yeah. Build that vision. If someone comes along the way, great. If not, it is what it is.
Yeah, and look, and the thing is, it is what it is. But you're bound to find someone at some stage.
It's preference to people, you know what I mean?
That's what it is, man. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you might find one at an early age. You might never find her. You might find her at a different stage. Whatever. Who knows, man?
Or you might find a guy. Who knows?
Who knows as well? Yeah. The main thing is keep that testosterone locked inside you, and
use it. Use it to fuel the fire.
Yes.
Fuel the fire. Go get after it. Get your shit done. Make it happen.
Exactly, bro.
Get up off your ass. Go do it.
Go do it. Get the work done. Get the work done. Tell me now. We'll talk about a man that does possess a lot of testosterone alongside yourself as well, and he's been ripping it up the last while.
Oh.
About to talk about Mr. We talk about women there as well. Mr. Andy Tate.
Andy Tate. He's over in Dubai with my mate Niall at the moment.
No way.
Niall, he runs the Bread Batch page. I was just scrolling through Instagram and I see Niall on a yacht. With Andrew
just now.
Tate. Last week.
And
I was just going, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Seeing Niall with Andrew Tate and his brother.
Oh, this is actually an interesting thing. Yeah.
And they were doing a podcast. So I went over to Dubai. I think it was last year. I went to a gym. It's called TK MMA. And they set up a podcast, actually. It's called...
you put me onto it the other day.
TK Talks. So they had James Smith PT, like a non-blind influencer PT guy. And they have Tate on it as well. And they're just talking smack.
Like we're doing.
As like we're doing.
Yeah.
But back to like Andrew Tate. He has he's a very controversial character.
Definitely so. Is that what makes him so great?
I look at it like this, right? You have your best mate, right? You don't agree with everything he says, do you?
No,
you wouldn't agree with everything your best mate says, right? So I'm just taking it like, I think some of his points are really good.
Yeah.
Like he's a good influence, but at the same time he has a few opinions that I would like question and disagree with completely outright. Yeah. But I do think he's a good influence for young men to kind of like get up.
I think he's a brilliant influence, man.
Yeah, like I mean, for him to just say to people like drop and do 10 push-ups and just like getting a bit of a fitness regimen, like don't be so focused on like even like chasing girls, focus on yourself. I think that alone of just being a more confident male, I think he sets the bar for those people.
He really does, man. And look, he's such an interesting background as well, because I was knowing that we were going to talk about him, kind of done it. Kickboxing champion, man. But he was going to become. It seemed to be that his dad was a professional chess player.
Yeah, he's very good at chess as well.
Yeah, but I think this is the reason why he's turned out to be such a, because chess is a very interesting game, man. I used to play it a lot with my old flatmate over in Scotland. It's a fucking brilliant game, man. And I remember playing it to the degree that I started thinking about life as in chess moves. This sounds crazy, but every move, every decision that you make is like you're on the chessboard and you're moving around. So I'll flick that camera back on.
Yep. It's a good combo, isn't it? It's flowing.
I'll put us into shot here. I'll move this over in a sec. But like I was saying, so his dad was a chess grandmaster, and he was studying chess for 4 hours a day. Yeah. So all of a sudden, his mum and dad split up, and he moves to Luton, and then he has nothing to do, so he ends up finding a martial art, which I think it was Thai boxing or maybe kickboxing of some sort. He goes on to be he had so much time to focus in on converting that time that he had in chess over to martial art. It goes and becomes a 4-way world champion. I think it was 4-way. He won the championship that he was in 4 times, and then at 28 decided he wanted to become rich. So him and his brother set out. It's a very interesting story, man. He originally started off a cam girl business.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
about that, yeah.
Absolutely madness. I had 4 girlfriends at the time, arranged all in different countries.
See that it's crazy how he goes on. Like, it is a bit mad, but like
His whole perception on women is very much out there. You know what I mean?
I don't think he should have got cancelled though. You know, I think there's a lot worse people out there getting cancelled. Like, it was just even like Donald Trump getting banned off Twitter. It's like, I don't think, like, there's a lot. Was it Little Nas twerking on the devil? You were saying, like, people in these music videos doing crazy shit. Some of the rappers and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's fine. Whereas someone has an opinion that you may not agree with is getting cancelled. Like, there's people.
What's quite interesting about Tate, man, he's so confident though.
He's very confident.
Like, you can't phase him at all because he's got everything in the locker. Like you mentioned, the perfect man has power, status, looks, wealth. What else is it?
I suppose, like, he pretty much has it all going on. But at the same time, I would say, like, there's a family man out there that has a family and he's happy out and he's living his life. Yeah, is just as happy as he is with all the millions that
everyone to themselves, man. Exactly. Yeah.
Like I think he's not everyone's cup of tea. He doesn't have to be. No. But if he's helping people, keep him on YouTube.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you know, if he has a few bad opinions, a few clips of his podcast that may be 2 hours long that you may not agree with, fair enough. Don't cancel the guy.
But I do think for young guys, I think you said it well there, man. He is someone that they should admire. Not should admire, but even just to look up to in a sense, because I think we are missing 100%. Leaders in our time, and we're missing. Yeah,
like, people are, I think, afraid to be outspoken in this day and age because they're afraid of getting cancelled or judged. Or like everyone, I think, wants to have the same opinion. Yeah. And what happens is it's just like I think opinions are getting kind of not compromised, but
they are. No, you're right, man.
Afraid to say what they're thinking, and because of that, then it's creating like this kind of weird culture.
It is, man, where no one wants to be outspoken at all.
No one wants
and that's why he was just too out there.
And that's why he got he got the views, he got the people's attention because he was saying what was on a lot of people's minds.
That's the thing, man.
And
he's very outspoken. But there's the tall poppy syndrome. When you start coming above the rest, they chop you down, and that's what happened with Tate, man. But look, he's still doing well for himself. You're
not going to be everyone's biggest fan. No. And that's just life.
Exactly, just how it goes.
That's how it goes.
Exactly. Listen, bro, we're gonna wrap that up here. I think that was I don't know how long we were going, but listen, thank you very much for your time. Great really podcast. Appreciate it. Hopefully we'll do it again at some stage.
Great chatting to you.
Yeah, man, it's
Thanks
good.
for having me over.
No problem.
Like, we've had a few chats now, and I just think this is the start of something beautiful.
Exactly, it is indeed, bro. It is indeed of the old bromounts. Listen, thanks so much, bro.
Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. All the best, bro. Not that you're going anywhere.